This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm here at Fort Collins Mortgage. Since 1997, they've been providing a variety of loan programs while creating lasting relationships with folks here in northern Colorado. I'm here with Scott, who's the owner, founder. Thanks so much for joining us, Scott. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You began the company in 97, but it was years before that, since 93. You've actually been involved in this industry. Share with me how you got involved.
Thank you very much, Gary. Yeah, it started way back in California, back in probably 35 years ago. At that time, we just needed to know how to spell the word mortgage, and I was hired. But I never had another job, and this is the only thing I've been doing since then.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. Obviously, this is an industry that changes quite often. I would imagine continual education is something that's very important, but also your experience in this industry and what you bring to the table have to help folks.
It is. We've been lucky. Nowadays, we're not only licensed, we're bonded, insured, we're federally tested, state tested, and that really keeps the business very professional. And I've been very fortunate. We have over 7,000 past clients that we've been doing business with, so that keeps us very busy in a time like this as well.
Fantastic. When folks out there need a mortgage loan of some type, their obvious choice many times is go to the local bank. Share with me a little bit the differences of going to a bank versus that of going to a mortgage company.
I think, Gary, at this time we need a little bit more diversity just than bank guidelines. Every person has something unique about their personal financial situation, whether it could be anything. And a bank is somewhat limited to their own guidelines and pretty much a special way that loan has to work with the bank. But given that, we have choices of being able to go to different lenders for different situations that require for you personally. And often it's cheaper and less cost and lower interest rate as well. Excuse me.
Interesting. So we're talking about very competitive when it comes to rates. We're talking about folks that maybe have a hard time qualifying with a local bank. They can come to you in that way. And also expediting the process in a safe manner, I imagine, is goal number one.
That's correct. And plus you're supporting local business as well, and I think it really gets down to the relationship and who you feel comfortable. And I hope I can make people feel comfortable when they come in and work with me with their personal financials.
Wonderful. One of the things you said is everybody has a very unique profile, if you will. As you get to know these folks, are you able to get more creative in some of the solutions you're able to provide for them?
Well, we certainly try to listen first. So knowing that to be the case, everyone has a different plan on what they want to do with their home mortgage, whether they're planning on being in it for 5 years, which is the national average, or if they're planning on being in it for the full 30 years. Based on that information, on what people share with us, we can structure different options that will suit that purpose.
Let's talk about a few of those different options, some of the products you offer. Let's start off with fixed rate versus ARM, adjustable. Are those still pretty popular options?
I tell you, adjustables have been a scary thing, Gary, over the last few years, but most of my clients that do have adjustables have been very thankful over the last few years with enjoying a very low interest rate. But now with the fixed rates being very low, we're seeing a lot of refinances coming back into us now, getting out of that variable, just that. You don't know when it's going to change and how much it's going to change, and put it into a very low fixed rate right now.
Interesting. I imagine one time that you really want a professional in your corner to make sure the T's are crossed, dotted I's, is when you're dealing with government. We're talking about USDA, FHA, VAs. Can that be a kind of an overwhelming task for a consumer out there?
Overwhelming, I'm not sure, but there certainly is more documentation that's required. We try to break that all out for you when you first come in, and we have it all laid out for you. So it's just, government. There are some extra forms, but we try to incorporate that in in the original meeting together.
Excellent. You said you're licensed here in the state of Colorado. What about state and local housing programs? People taking advantage of possible tax credits out there. Is that something you can help with as well?
Well, I don't know if the tax credits are still around here, but we certainly have other ways of local down payment assistance programs. Tax credits, we do have the MCC program that will give you tax write-offs on your houses. Of course, you also have the natural deductions, the mortgage interest deductions on your mortgage, too, when you do get a loan, which will in turn save money in your pocket every year as well.
So no matter if you're out there getting your first home that you're getting into or your dream home here in Colorado, we see some beautiful homes out there. I imagine some of these homes, they fall outside of the conventional loan, if you will. Share with us what a jumbo loan is and how do you help there?
Well, jumbo loans is right now, the conforming loan amounts are $417,000. Anytime that you have a loan amount that goes over that, that's considered jumbo. That comes in a separate set of rules. And right now, it's a higher requirement as far as credit scores go, a lot higher. So a lot of times right now when people are buying jumbo loans, we might split those loans up into a first and a second, which would eliminate any kind of mortgage insurance and allows people to qualify under more conventional terms instead of the jumbo terms. And we do that quite often nowadays.
Interesting. Like you said before, you really pride yourself on the fact you get to know the client, therefore their credit history, what they're looking for, and you can either tell them if it's a fixed rate or an adjustable rate or sometimes a hybrid, a possibility of the both. Is that something that happens every once in a while?
We do. First, we find out, Gary, how long people, again, would like to live in that house. If they're going to be in there less than 5 years, there's programs out there that have a very low interest rate in the mid-threes that might be a 5-year loan, for example. And if that's all you need, that works out perfect. But if you, again, want to stay in there for longer than that threshold of 5 years, I think, Gary, that you want to start thinking about a longer term, like a 30-year fixed.
Interesting. If the consumer out there, they're not sure of how much of a home they can afford, is this the place to start? Can they actually go to your website and start that process right there 24/7?
You know, it's a technology world, so a lot of our loans are done just that way. They go on to FortCollinsMortgage.com. There's an easy application that takes 10 minutes to come on there. It comes directly to me, and within an hour I can have you pre-qualified and even get you a letter ready to go so you can go out and do some house shopping.
Obviously, a lot of products you're able to offer for folks out there. We're talking about 25 years in the industry. Obviously, you've learned a lot in the past that affects today. Share with me some of these products that basically you're able to provide.
You know, Gary, on top of the ones we've just mentioned, I would just like to make people feel a little bit more comfortable that there are loans for people that felt the wrath of 2009, 2010 time period, the self-employed people. We are doing a lot of loans for them. We can create temporary loans for these people right now to get into these houses right now and enjoy that appreciation and even the mortgage deduction right now. And then whenever we need another year, maybe a year and a half to clean up things and make it more responsible, or perhaps maybe 1 year more of tax returns, well, we can get you into that home right now, and then we'll come back in a year or so from now and then put in a nice long-term low interest rate loan for you. But you can certainly buy now if you want to.
Wow, that's a great customized approach to each person out there.
That's correct. It's a good one.
Excellent. As he said right there, folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen. You can check out their website. On the website, first of all, you can learn some of the products that we talked about a little bit there, find out which one would possibly be best fit for you. You can also see some great testimonials. They got an FAQ right there, some great resources. You can apply right online there, and you'll have your own private login. You can pretty much access from about anywhere. And remember, this is a company that basically began in 1997. Let me ask you this. A lot of folks out there, be it their first home or dream home, or maybe they put the buying behind them. They're now in their senior years, ready to enjoy some time. What about reverse mortgages? Is that something you can help with?
I love them. You know, they're an unknown product to a lot of people, but as we get into this new demographics and we have, well, I think, Gary, 10,000 baby boomers retire in a year right now, it is a nice program. And if the goal is to eliminate your mortgage payment, this is an excellent program to do it with.
Excellent. What about for folks that are looking for some investment opportunities? Is that an area that you also are able to help out?
We're lucky again to be in an area in the nation right now that's very aggressive. The Northern Colorado district is going great with home sales, and it's a great time to go ahead and invest with real estate and rental properties right now. Rents are high. Problem up here just finding properties right now. We can't find too many of them available out here, but it's a great time to speculate.
Wonderful. Well, you've been in the industry now for, we're talking about a quarter of a century here. That alone shows that you've been successful in this industry. A lot of different changes throughout those years. Do you believe that really listening to the client, expediting that process as safely as possible, is that what really has led you here today?
I believe so. And to be able to follow up with those clients, so it's just not a one-time loan, to stay in communication with these clients. And what's nice to be able to say is that nowadays we're doing, even my original clients, we're doing their kids now. And we're seeing their loans come back in, so where we can get them into their first-time home as well. So it's very rewarding in that aspect.
So that really shows lasting relationships, generation to generation. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen. Last time you're going to see their website right there. On the website, once again, you can apply right there on loan. Basically, you've got some testimonials that you're able to view there as well. And just keep in mind, they're just a phone call away. They have been serving the northern state here of Colorado. That is Fort Collins Mortgage. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.